Hey.
Fuck me, silly.
Uh,
You're trying to stream.
Makes it easier for me to upload it. Okay, we are live. We are live with the Avant Garde Club podcast. Officially live. Yeah. We're just figuring this out. We're figuring this out. Much work, we finally got it. I'm pretty sure it's up there.
Hey,
Is it live?
hey.
Let's see.
take 10.
Take 502. We have it working. Boom. That's how we do it. Much work, we finally. Yep, we got it. All right. This is the Avant Garde Club podcast, and I'm not gonna mess with any more settings. Hey, what's good? We have a full cast here today. We have Aaron, Matt, Jeff, and me.
Howdy.
How's life been going for all of you? I know Aaron's been working in the cornfields. Isn't that right?
Last week I performed at.
Well, he is a pretty cool black guy, you know what I mean?
Master's been getting mad. I
Last,
managed to sneak away with his wife last night.
This week in Avant Garde Club podcast, rampant racism. Yeah, okay.
or we can go the opposite route and go extreme sexism and grab girls by the. We could be Donald Trump.
Okay, so like one of these episodes, like we just need to be playing like Cards Against Humanity.
Oh
On,
my God! Hell yeah!
let's have a clickbait title. Does Juan endorse Donald Trump?
Find out today on Avant Garde Club podcast.
Political prank goes
Spoiler alert, he does,
sexual. Must watch till the end.
Let's get right into these news. Well, I want to talk about PlayStation VR. All right, what do you guys think about VR? Like overall.
Okay, you know what? I was actually browsing the store the other day and I saw like a game that needed it, and I was like, "Oh, that's a thing." They didn't publicize that like at all. So, I mean, VR is super dope, but like, I haven't seen it, and I feel like I need to see it to really experience it and make a judgment.
What resolution does the VRs run in? Do you know?
No.
I think it's I think it's like standard 16:9.
Oh, okay. Well, like if it's like, I don't know, because if things are like 60 frames per second in VR, I would get so much motion sickness.
No,
I
that'd be
can't even.
so
A lot of people do.
I have motion sickness. I tried playing, was it Sonic Generations and Sonic Unleashed, and I would like constantly feel nauseous after a few levels. But...
Well, that's just because it was Sonic Unleashed.
yeah.
That's why you felt
Of course.
nauseous.
I mean, you would have blown
Yeah.
chunks after just 5 minutes in Sonic 06, man.
Okay.
The
real
cult
talk.
classic.
Me and,
That is Sonic 06.
featuring fan favorite character Sonic Man. I
Featuring Sonic and Psychic Gray Sonic. Yo, but like actually, Silver is one of my favorite Sonic characters, and I don't know why.
Why?
it's because they made him like Trunks. They actually called him Trunks in the files when they were making him because they wanted to make him like Trunks. That's why he's from the future.
I guess that kind of makes
Damn.
sense, actually.
So Dragon Ball Z indirectly made Sonic 06.
Shut up. Don't remind me of that. When are we gonna get Hercule the Hedgehog? He's my favorite character.
But I need to switch headphones.
Real talk, I beat Sonic 06 when I was like 7, and I hated it back then because I was like, this game sucks.
I actually,
Like, I don't know.
That was my first PS3 game ever, and at the time I was like, "Whoa, PS3, so awesome!" And,
Look at these graphics.
I thought it was the best game ever, and
And then I met other games.
yeah.
My first
You met
PS3
other
game,
games and started dating
oh
them?
shit! My first PS3 game was actually World at War. My brother wanted for fucking zombies because he played it at a friend's house. I
That's
gave
all
that
the
game
server
away.
does.
I gave it away. I traded it with one of my friends for Fallout 3.
Oh,
like,
way better
game
deal.
of the year. Game of the year.
Game
So-
of the year. That's way better.
Yeah, he was like, dude, I want it because it's really easy to no scope and it's funny. It's
I
like,
think I'm trying to. I'm trying to think of the first game I played for the 360. I think it was. I remember specifically I got like the arcade disc because I got the Xbox 360
yeah.
arcade. I got it at launch, and then I also got because that came with like Pac-Man Championship DX edition and like
That game
all
is
sorts of
so
cool
good.
stuff. A game also has a if you're epileptic, do not play
No,
play that game.
No. There's a lot
Don't
of
give it to your
there's a
brother.
lot of RGB changes in that game that will fuck people up.
Yeah, I played what do you call? I played the first Transformers game. That was my first game for the 360, and that game was actually really fun. You just pick up stuff and just blow it up. Not too much different from the Michael Bay movies, like plot wise. It's just
The very first PlayStation 2 game that I ever played.
oh shit.
Yeah, I'm throwing it back, man. The very first PlayStation 2 game I ever played was Crash Bash, which was like a party game, but it was based off of Crash Bandicoot.
That's
It was
Okay.
super fun. It was super fun.
did it make you hate yourself like Mario Party?
Again. Like all the game modes were the same exact game. It was just like a giant fucking square and like, oh, occupy the most squares with your color. But it was really fun. And the best part about it was a PlayStation 1 disc on
Oh,
a
wow.
PlayStation 2 system.
Oh, it's the colored ones, right? That sounded really bad, like isolated.
someone tunes into the stream.
Oh, it's the colored one.
Ay, no puedo. Córrele para allá.
You know, no.
or Doc.
Yeah, Doc. I love docking my PS2.
What the fuck?
Wait, so if he's called Tupac, then would he be two people of color?
No, it's PAC. Better than when people call him like. It's better than when people call him Tupac. I hate that.
I get it.
Yeah.
Hang on, I'll be right back.
Packs of beer, man. That's fucking unprofessional.
So with
You
VR,
get them either in 12 packs or none at all.
VR comes out. It came out yesterday. For $400, $399. Considering the VR that came out, the Oculus and the Vive, like the Vive's a cheaper option, but the Rift, you need a really beefy computer to play that, right? So
Yeah.
So you need a beefy computer worth a lot of money. How much? Let me see how much the Oculus costs.
Yeah, right now it just seems like too much money for something that right now is just a novelty.
What is the
Yeah.
Oculus Rift?
Just VR in general is
Okay.
kind of a novelty.
Yeah, I get it. I don't know what this $400 price tag. It's like, would you rather buy a PlayStation or VR? Another
Exactly,
PlayStation,
it's
yeah.
another system.
If you could buy so many other things with $400, and I don't think VR right now is where it should be. Game wise, there's not really much, you know.
400
Yeah,
is,
yeah.
yeah.
Sonic Generations VR. Let's do this.
No.
Motion sickness simulator.
Would you get? All right. What would make a VR, PlayStation VR, or any VR system worth it for you guys?
Porn.
That's already out. You're set. You're
Yeah.
sold.
Okay, so like, the thing about VR is like right now it's literally just your vision. Like it really takes you out of it. The fact that like you're limited in your movement in that like you're either moving with a controller or like with the Vive. Like you have to like point to where you want to go and like
Teleport.
swipe or whatever.
Oh, yeah, I remember reading like articles about it, how they wanted to implement like some weird kind of trackball thing under your
Ooh,
feet. So that way when
yes.
you walk, and then I don't know, maybe give us gloves or something like two power gloves or something stupid like that. Wear 'em. Like you'll look like a huge dork, but you get immersed in the game because you can see your hands and your feet.
I want
like
to.
that.
I
I don't
want
know.
to tie VR to one of my favorite books is Ready Player One, and in that it's a whole VR like what you're talking about. They have like haptic suits and they live in VR, like this whole VR world, right? And like now that movie's coming out next year, right? Next December. But at that point,
I really hope it's not bad.
I feel like there's gonna be a lot of VR things where people are gonna be like, "Oh, this is just a VR movie. It's not it's not just a VR movie. I feel like, you know, the VR was there, you know. Just,
Yeah.
Okay. Whenever I think of how VR should be, like when it can really be considered a legitimate platform for like doing that kind of stuff, I can't remember what movie it was in. It's either like Terminator 2 or like Richie Rich or something, but like basically he's in a mall and like he's like on this like pseudo what would it be called, like the like track thing. And it's just like a little bowl, and he can like run in it and like do all that kind of stuff. He's like holding this like fake gun, but like and he has his headset on, but like he's actually playing the game and he's running around and he's shooting and reloading and all that kind of crap. Like when we can do that kind of stuff, like that's when VR will be a real thing.
You know what the VR things make me think about? I think they would be really good for actual split screen multiplayer, so that we don't have to peek at other people's screens.
Yeah. Just for like screening, like not even like for the head turning or anything like that. Just for like actual separate screens.
Yeah, I don't know.
Right now.
But I don't want to work out when I play a game.
Oh yeah.
I play games to sit
Hey, that's
down
what the
and
Wii
do
was
nothing.
for, motherfucker. That's what the Wii was for.
The
Wii
what?
weightlifting.
I don't know what that
Let's
is.
go.
I don't know what that is. Never heard of it.
Shut up.
Oh, I'm sorry. According to one Nintendo person, it was like it's called a
One
Y,
Nintendo?
actually. Like there was somebody at Nintendo who actually called it a Y. It was so bad.
No.
Oh.
In an interview, he called it a Y.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, so well, we're gonna start with our Y launch now.
The Nintendo Kawaii. Okay. I'm gonna. Nah, I gave myself cancer.
So
So what have you guys been up to for your past weeks?
Work, man.
we had a concert last night. A choir
Oh
concert.
yeah.
That went really well.
Oh yeah. Yeah.
Of course, I wouldn't know. I wasn't in the choir.
Yeah, shut up. Yeah, you were.
No, like I was there. It's just like I can't compare it to the other ones I heard because I'd always leave early.
No, well, that was really good. I felt like, where we were last year is nothing compared to where we were this year, and it was really good. Speaking of our choir
Yeah.
group is what I mean. Other than that, what else? Oh, in 2 weeks, not in the 30th of October, I'm gonna go see the Wonder Years and Real Friends. And I'm pretty sure Smiley's going to that too, but I'm not sure.
Good lineup.
Oh, it's a
Yeah,
fantastic lineup, dude. Dude, tickets are only $22 for GA, but I got VIP because I want to fucking meet Soupy, right? Here, let me tell you the lineup. It is a fantastic lineup.
Let me see if I remember it off the top of my head. It's Wonder Years, Real Friends, Moose Blood, Seaway, Knuckle Puck.
Yep. Amazing. So it's Seaway openers, Moose Blood after that.
Oh, I like Seaway. Seaway's a good band.
Knuckle Puck after that. Real Friends, the sub-headliners, and then the Wonder Years, of course. And, I mean, $22 gets you 5 bands that you can, like, enjoy.
They're so good.
Yeah,
Yeah.
that's such a good deal, too. And it's at the Ogden, which is an amazing venue.
If you guys haven't,
I
recommend checking out Seaway's. Where it was, the name was like Digital Something album. It's a really good
Seaway's
one.
really good.
They handle their dual vocal style like really well, and I noticed that when I was there.
I'm just excited because I know I've seen Knuckle Puck like 3-4 times now. They tear shit up.
It's my first time seeing Knuckle Puck. This will be my 3rd time seeing the Wonder Years.
They go crazy. Second time seeing Front Bottoms too. First time seeing Moose Blood. Oh my god,
Yeah,
gonna
that's
cry.
gonna be so good. That's pretty much what my October, and then of course there's homecoming next week, which, whatever. It's high school shit.
You guys are in school.
Who gives a shit about homecoming?
Best years of your life. You're gonna miss them as soon as they're over, nerds.
Fuck.
I'm already missing my high school years. What are you guys talking about?
Yeah.
Don't you just love how the dumbass over the morning announcements just keep saying like in October, even though we're already in October? Like, I'm not-
Whoa!
Oh,
Whoa!
by the way, we have the
Wow.
super lame morning announcements, dude. He's a fucking square. Don't you think so,
I
Jeff?
know, right?
Melvin.
He's so, oh man, he's so awful.
Yeah, his name is like George or something.
I know.
It's like
Yeah, but it's spelled with a J
it's like
and an F.
It's,
No,
it's
it's
spelled with a J and two F's. Yeah, it's weird.
Like, who the fuck spells George like that?
Oh,
Come on,
man.
dude.
So yeah, that's pretty much it for our daily lives. Front
I've been
bottoms.
playing Saints Row 2.
Oh, dude, the Saints Row 2 is such a good franchise. I was watching
So-
Nerd Cubed play.
The Saints Row 2.
That sounds like a really bad PR
Oh.
statement, like you were
Oh,
saying,
my
like
bad.
Nintendo Y.
Oh,
Like you're yelling.
yeah.
Like,
Sorry,
like he's
I
super
just
socially
wanted-
awkward. The Saints Row 2 is a really good.
Dude, it's so good. I
there are
bought
more
Jeff
Saints
Saints Row
Row
2 for his
characters.
birthday. Jeff, have you played any of
Yeah.
that?
I played a little bit of it. Like, I have trouble with it on my computer, but I watch as much.
Oh
as I
my,
can.
oh dude, the PC port is awful.
Oh, okay.
Of Saints
So,
Row 2,
I
unless
have-
you have a good computer.
No. Even if you have a good computer, it's shit. I had to run Jeff through this tutorial and of this mod called Gentleman of the Road that fixes everything
Oh,
wrong
yeah.
with Saints Row 2, and it makes the game
I was-
actually runnable.
Yeah,
If it weren't for that mod, I wouldn't have bought in it.
because like there's some parts even on the I'm playing the console version right now as I'm talking to you guys. Like there's parts where like the frame rate drops and it's awful. Like it goes into the teens and it just chugs along. But as a game, it's such a good game. Like
Dude.
there's so much customization available in your outfits and your attire and stuff. Like you can choose whether your shirts are buttoned or not, and
Yeah.
you know there's like it's ridiculous. It's super deep. I think it's a better game than GTA 5 or sorry GTA 4, but
Really?
because like comparing the two when they came out, I think gameplay wise, Saints Row 2 is way more fun as a game than GTA 4 was. But as an experience, like GTA 4 is better.
I disagree, but that to each their own. I mean, I like both.
Yeah.
I love both games. I'd play GTA 4 over Saints Row 2 any day. But it's because I think Saints Row 2 is more gangster, and then GTA 4 is much more dark and
Criminal.
yeah.
Criminal.
It's a very much more realistic game, that's for sure.
Okay. So, tell me when you want to move on to the second topic one, because I'm gonna give you 1 minute.
What's the second topic?
Colorado Rapids went top of the Western Conference thanks to Kevin Doyle in MLS.
Hell yeah.
You get a 1 minute time.
Right, wait.
This is your 1 minute soccer corner. All right.
Okay, because there's no
3.
Premier League action this week, I will run over the Rapids. All right.
Okay. 3, 2, 1, go.
We're gonna win a fucking league! Let's go Rapids! All right. Anyways, the Rapids.
Sipping.
Last night the Rapids were 2-1 against San Jose Earthquakes, and we killed off their playoff hopes. This is the second team whose playoffs hopes we killed. We killed Houston Dynamo's playoff chances last week, and this next Sunday, the 23rd, we go to face Portland, and if we beat them, we kill their playoff chances, and we'll win the league. We'll win the Supporter Shield if FC Dallas lose both of their next games. If FC Dallas, who going up against Matt Sounders, lose, then we don't. If they lose their next 2 matches,
they're going
we
to.
win. So this is the first time I'm gonna fucking root for the Sounders because I really need them to pull through for me here. How much seconds do I have left?
Prepare to be disappointed
7.
in one like I am
7?
every year.
All right, Rapids are going to take the Supporter Shield, which we've never been in the race for, so this is really exciting times. Boom. Boom. Rapids forever. All right. That's done.
Right. That's 1 minute soccer corner with Juan. Anyway.
Well, I'm 1 minute Rapids corner, I guess, because that's not really over. I could get into so much stories about soccer. Anyways, let's talk about Mafia 3, guys.
Yo.
It's hit or miss with a lot of people, but have you guys played any of the Mafia games?
I played Mafia 2 when it came out, and it was a really good game.
I think I played the demo.
Of what,
I played a
Mafia?
It's
Minecraft
cool.
mod about Mafia 2.
I think I played Mafia 2 demo. It
So-
looked cool.
So this is one of those points of games where the gameplay is really shit, but the story is so in depth. What do you guys think about that?
It depends on how you determine like how gameplay is bad. Like, I don't know. Maybe I'm a fanboy of Spider-Man, but like, there's times where some Spider-Man games have really, really rough gameplay, or like they try to enter in new mechanics and they just don't work. But I can overlook that because their set pieces are really fun to play through, and like the level design's really good. Like if the levels are fun to play through, that's fine. But like if the gameplay all around is awful, then I won't play the game. It's just
You know,
Yeah, like I
go on.
always think of like the original Spider-Man game, like the original one based off of Tobey Maguire. Like that one was so hard for me to play through because you were limited to rooftops
Oh yeah.
the entire game.
So do you guys know about Watch Dogs 2? No, not Watch Dogs 2. Watch Dogs.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
what
Yeah.
this Mafia 3 is pretty much a Watch Dogs set in in this time in the 1960s where racism is a big thing. And I like that this game is taking an approach to show like our history, because America's history is really, really bad, right?
Which is strange because
Only a little bit.
Mafia
They
2
were
took
only
place in the
systemically
30s.
racist for 100 years.
Or no, Mafia 2 took place in the 50s. What am I talking about?
I don't get why people defend the Constitution so much, because the Constitution is what actually brought up the race thing. And when people defend the Constitution, they're defending. Alright, I'm not gonna get into it. Blech. Anyways,
Political.
we're not gonna get political because then we're gonna talk about Trump and Hillary and Ken Bone and.
I think you mean Chillery. What are you talking about? One?
Kid bone.
Ken Bone.
Alcohol.
Anyways, Mafia 3 is tanked, guys. That's a general review. I was actually really excited for this game until I was gonna be like, I gotta give this game a few weeks to build, and then
It's got to ferment.
yeah, apparently it was really.
I love
bad.
my fermented Mafia games. They're the best. It's like
You're
wine.
expecting the game to age like wine, but instead it aged like milk.
And honestly,
You know what? I've been drinking Yakult for I've been addicted to Yakult for the past 3 weeks. Ever since I've been going to the soccer games with Juan. Like they gave out free samples of Yakult. I was like, I should buy this. I keep buying it like every week. I don't know why, but I love it. It turns out it's made of fermented milk, and it tastes really good. But something about it makes me feel uneasy inside. Like I'm gonna get I don't know, rabies or something.
rabies.
The secret ingredient.
All right. So
The secret ingredient.
at this point, Battlefield's 1 pigeon gameplay is gonna be better than Mafia 3's. Because in Battlefield 1, you can play as a fucking pigeon.
We were talking.
Oh,
before we
yeah.
started about, like,
Aren't
we
you
were
guys
talking before we
excited?
started about like pigeon loadouts, like thick feathers. Thick feathers. You can
Like,
hide
think
a
of,
full altitude or whatever.
Think of lightweight from Modern Warfare 2 and compare with the pigeon gameplay.
Oh my god.
And then you have you have akimbo double barrel shotguns. As the-
So yeah, I don't know. You guys, are any of you gonna get Battlefield 1?
I want to, but I don't have I probably won't be able to afford it yet. I need to save up my money for my job, but
Not me.
What about
'cause
you?
I only have a PlayStation 2.
Am I gonna get it?
Mm-hmm.
I don't know enough about it. I feel.
it takes place in World War One, but it's not trench gameplay. But it has some trench gameplay if you want.
Well, I mean, if the gameplay is crap, I feel like with that kind of game, all I really care about is the gameplay, especially since I haven't played the other two.
Like that's the only problem with like World War One games, like or games about World War One. Is like World War One was fought primarily in trenches. Like 95% of the war was trench fighting. So like when the priority of your game, excuse me, when the priority of your World War One game is not about trenches, it kind of strays away from historical realism, and it basically just becomes a World War Two game.
But yeah, remember some gamers don't want historical realism; they just want to shoot people in the face, you know.
Exactly.
And I think World War One is doing a good job of showing that not all of the battles were trench fighting. That there were some battles that were a little bit more open, albeit like they're archaic, but they're open.
And then, like, you go back to colonial games, and they're all, fucking with muskets and shit. Like, they aren't doing the battle lines. Dude, fucking battle lines was the dumbest thing you could think of. Okay, let's all just stand here, get shot, and then the second line of people is gonna step forward and shit.
My favorite thing in history class was learning about how like the British were all butt mad because American guys in the where it was, I think it was during when Britain tried to invade back into America in like 1812. They got really butt mad. Or no, was during the Civil, it was during the American Revolution. They got really butt mad because Americans use guerrilla warfare. You know, it's like a real life thing of like, what the fuck, you can't do that. He's a fucking camper, and it's like,
Yeah, they're using guerrilla warfare instead of the fucking battle lines.
he's like, what type of
Why
perks
the
you have?
fuck did they ever think that battle lines was a good idea?
It's
God.
honorable. What are you talking about,
Guys,
Joe?
okay, I
You,
have a story
you don't
about...
stand in front. You don't stand in front of your opponent and then stare at them while they punch you in the face. Come on.
And
I
and then if you're still standing after their punch, you can punch them in the face.
Yeah. Equal
And it just
blows.
goes back and forth.
I have a quick story about what I thought guerrilla warfare was. All right, in class, in social studies. hey.
Wait, did it have anything to do with Winston?
Does this have anything to do with Harambe?
No. So, in middle school at the time, I got into Call of Duty, right? And I played a lot of Black Ops, right? In Black Ops, if guerrilla warfare is where you pick up someone else's gun and you use it against them, like the other team. So my stupid ass in middle school, they were talking about guerrilla warfare, and I was like, isn't guerrilla warfare where you pick someone else's up gun? And everyone was like, what the fuck? And then they soon caught on that it was a Black Ops thing. Oh my god, it was the most cringiest shit ever.
I forgot what it was. Didn't I have a moment like that around you? I think it was I'm trying to think. There was something like that. I had a moment in literacy class, I think. Oh, I remember. It was like they asked me what I thought of. I don't know, it was a history question about the Pentagon, but I thought they said polygon, and I answered it as a math question, and it was. And everybody looked at me like I was retarded because I am retarded.
That sounds absolutely perfect.
Oh, man.
Well, what was one thing that happened to me? God, I can't remember exactly what happened now. I've been trying to erase it from my memory. But like, we were learning about like Greek mythology or whatever, and like, no, we were learning about Roman mythology. And if you don't know about like Roman mythology, it's literally a ripoff of Greek mythology. Like they literally just took all of the Greek gods, renamed them, and then used them as their own.
Yeah.
So, like the original copyright infringement.
Zeus OC, do not steal.
I know, but what was really funny was like I realized this, but the teacher wasn't explaining that it was a ripoff of Greek mythology. So I was like, "Wait a minute, that's the story of Zeus, motherfucker!" Like I didn't say motherfucker. That's just like that's the story of Zeus. Like just in the middle of class, in the middle of her lesson, and she just like turns around and looks at me, and everybody looks at me. I'm like,
Nerd.
I mean, it was the story of Zeus.
Is this elementary?
No, yeah, it was like 6th grade.
I used to get bullied in elementary school. That was the worst. Like some kid pants me in the middle. Shut up. It's not funny. Some kid pants me in the middle of class, but I had like my pajamas pants on because I was too lazy to take them off, and I was just like, ha, in her face, even though I was wearing like Buzz Lightyear underwear.
So in elementary school, like they tried to do like pseudo class changes at my elementary school.
Mhm.
So like what they did is like for your math and literacy classes, you went to different teachers, but like
Yeah.
for everything else, you stayed in one class. But so like for 4th and 5th grade, like I had to like walk halfway across the school to go to my math teacher and then go back to my original teacher for literacy.
That was freaking
Like
stupid.
every day I had to pass by this one kid, and every day he binder checked me. But like I've been after
Fucking
like
asshole.
after like 3 weeks, I realized that he was just gonna keep doing it.
You thought I was gonna get tired and just be like, "Oh man,
Like 2 or 3
my
weeks.
hand hurts from slapping this kid's stuff on the floor. Maybe I'm just gonna give
But
up."
like after 2 or 3 weeks, I realized that he was like where he would do it, and like I just started to fuck with him. Like one day I got really creative and I put jam on the top of my binder. So when he slapped it, it was just like a shit ton of jam that ended up on his hand.
See, that's where you gotta put chemicals on it. You go to you go to chemical warfare, right? You hide tear gas in your binder, and then right when he goes to slap you, you throw the tear gas in his face, and he dies. And then like you're like his mom like comes to school, she's all crying, she's like, "Ha."
But like,
Yep.
another thing that I did. Another thing that I
That's
did,
what
like,
you
he
do.
Another thing that it is like he went to binder
Boys
check
will
me,
be
and I just
boys.
like stopped walking, so he just kind of slapped at the air.
Fucking stupid
So like,
kid.
and he like stumbled like, what happened? What?
Hey Jeff.
Like,
I like to think it's like he slapped at the air because he's like it's like a quick time event for him. Like he missed the press, and so he just feels like, oh
He stumbles a bit.
yeah,
It's one of those tutorial ones where like nothing actually happens.
yeah.
Yo, somebody said something in chat, dude. Hold on. Somebody said
What?
something in the chat.
What?
Bullshit. I don't
It's
believe
just
that.
it's just a
This
kappa.
is
Senor,
live?
This is live.
Ooh.
See, senor.
Anyways,
Hey, buddy. This is live. How you
what
like
was I
it,
gonna
huh?
say? Jeff, remember I remember we used to, you know, have the same literacy class. You remember when we were reading about Harry Potter?
Yeah.
All right, you remember how the teacher made us take a personality test, and
Oh, yeah.
yeah, all right, remember?
And our groups would be, and our groups were decided on what house we ended up in.
Yes. What house did you end up in?
I was in Hufflepuff.
I took the personality test, right?
Yo, Hufflepuff for life, though.
I got even on
know.
everything. I don't know if you remember this. I got even on everything, and like the teacher like put the sorting hat on me, and she's like, "You go to," and she's like, "Hey, where do you want to go?" Because I had like, I was like Gryffindor, and I went to Gryffindor because I picked Gryffindor because my personality test was just completely even.
There were like 3 of us in Hufflepuff, and there were like 10 in Slytherin. It was so.
Oh yes,
so
I
funny.
remember that.
There were like 10 people in the Slytherin house, but there were only like 3 of us in Hufflepuff.
Slytherin, the house for racist people. Slytherin sucks. There's
Like
It's all
you could
about
tell,
Hufflepuff.
you could tell that it was a bit skewed when they had to use 3 tables for Slytherin house, but only 1 for Hufflepuff.
it's because they're all racist. Don't worry.
Systemic racism.
They're
Yes,
all
it's segregation in Hogwarts.
they're all
Our new,
they're a bunch of green goes. Ah, get it?
Ah.
Grinch goes.
Slytherin's green, cause Slytherin's green. All right, front
All right, on to
bottoms.
the next topic.
Front bottoms. New album, EP.
It's like like an EP or LP or something.
Uh,
Needy when I'm needy.
All right, so I know Matt has been exposed to the front bottoms. I've been exposed. I don't know if Jeff. How much do you know of the front bottoms?
I listened to a couple of their songs. I recognize a couple of them,
Hmm
but I don't really know the front bottoms all too well.
I think we should.
Like I wouldn't be able to you wouldn't be able to tell me the name of one of their albums. I would go, oh yeah, front bottoms. Like no,
Yeah,
I
yeah.
don't know. That well.
We should do a mini review of this next week.
They're a very unique band. I have to say, like no one writes the lyrics the same way that I've heard them write lyrics before, and I think it helps in their staying power. Like when I think of, I don't know, when I think of certain front bottom songs, I think of how some of the lyrics are, like how potent they are, because he writes them in such a weird way. He doesn't rhyme them. It's just kind of sometimes it just kind of writes. How do I explain it?
themselves. Like there's a lyric where he has a lyric in one of his songs. He said, "Stop. This is a private conversation." Wait, what does that lyric go again?
You're doing good.
He said,
Promoting the band well.
She said, "Can you please turn off?
Take me off speakerphone.
Can you
'cause
please take me off speakerphone? This is a private conversation." He said that was based on an actual live person who actually had his girlfriend. Like they were like he was being a dick, and she was like, "Can you
Yeah.
please take me off speakerphone? This is a private conversation." He's like, "Holy shit, that's a lyric."
Yeah.
And I don't know. That's interesting how you can like take something like something so like how do I say realistic and implement into a song.
He also has the weirdest lyrics. Like I'm a concrete colored basement. All right, or something.
Hmm
Yeah. There's one where he's taught. I think it's called hoop-shaped earrings or whatever. Where he says something and he's like, "That's such a minor detail. I don't know why I remember that," or something like that, akin to those lines.
hmm
And like things like that, where it's like he kind of is a little self-aware of how he writes his lyrics, but
Like,
There. So I'm swinging like a fist fight concrete colored basement. Like what? What does that
Yeah.
mean? But I
Well,
love it.
Yeah,
There's
if it's
a
a
lot-
fist fight, concrete colored basement.
I want to make tear-jerking shower curtain cameras running genius. Like, what?
Tear jerk.
I will admit bias. I am the biggest fanboy ever. They are my favorite band. I have their fucking logo on my arm.
You know, a good
Rest of my
criticism.
life.
Oh shit!
A good criticism
No.
I'll say about them is that
Oh.
they are not good at playing guitar.
Oh no, it's garbage, and that's part of.
That's
Or
not-
singing, for that matter. At
Ah.
times. Ah.
Yeah, I don't know. I'm excited for this. I'm excited to listen to this. I'm glad you brought it up.
Yeah, it's only 2 songs. It's Joni and Tighten Up, and
What do you
they're
think-
both they feel like.
So basically, what you're all saying is that if the Front Bottoms had the musicality of something like, oh, I don't know, Nickelback, then
No,
he
that-
Nickelback joke.
because
Aha.
I'd say Nickelback has more musical talent.
Exactly.
That was just a trigger.
This
Aaron.
is
That's
gonna
just a
be
trigger,
the
Aaron.
last time me and Fonz.
This is when Aaron leaves the podcast forever, thanks to Juan. But I mean, Nickelback is who they are because they're so consistent. I think that's what makes them boring. Is that they just have no. I don't know. Something about. I guess like I like the Front Bombs because of their vocals. Like they have like really horrible vocals sometimes, but
Mhm.
it's good. It's charming in a way.
Brian has this crazy charm. No matter what he does, it just feels so genuine.
That's what I was gonna
Just
say. yeah.
listen
So
to
it feels-
something and you're just like, holy shit! Like I get what he's saying. I don't know what it means, but I get it.
I like their acoustic stuff way more than the produced stuff. Like, if you ever heard of sessions of them, they're so good. Like, just tuned down and all this other stuff.
Aaron, what'd you think of Back on Top, their third album?
Okay, this is something to talk about. Okay, so let me give you my backstory into
You're back on top
Front
story.
Bottom. My whole life.
Prologue to Front Bottom.
So, when I listened to them my junior year after a failed relationship, and my friend just gave me this flash drive of all these bands, that's when I discovered, like, Real Friends, Tiger's Jaw, Front
What
Bottom,
the fuck
Modern
is a
Baseball.
flash drive? No, I'm just kidding. Go on.
I learned all my
And,
music off a floppy disk. Excuse me.
So I remember it was one day I listened to Talon of the Hawk beginning to end while I was cleaning my room during this weird like anxiety attack. I was just freaking out. I was like, I need to clean my room top to fucking bottom. And I listened to the whole album. I was just like, this is amazing. And then I listened to Rose, and I listened to their older stuff, and I listened to their self-titled. And then when Back on Top came out, I remember I was at college, I looked on Spotify and it was there, and I just sat down and I started listening. And I was like, what is this?
You didn't
It
like
was-
It's strange.
I didn't like it at first. I didn't like it at all.
Mhm.
But then the more I've listened to it, the more I've grown to appreciate it.
Mhm.
It's still not my favorite stuff at all.
Yeah,
Talon
for
of
sure.
Talon of the Hawk will always be my favorite. But
I agree. Go on.
it's become. I think what really set it off for me was seeing them live at Boulder when they played Plastic Flower. Did they play? I don't know. They played more stuff from Back on Top, and I knew the lyrics, and it just that kind of set it off for me. Just seeing how into it Brian was, you know.
Yeah.
And I've grown to appreciate it more. I really like Needy When I'm Needy because it feels more like their older stuff. It has that more kind of indie weirdness, not talking about motorcycles feel.
I think I had a I guess if you were to compare it, it's not as radical as a change it is, but I think it's kind of similar to when Radiohead went to a more In Rainbows style compared to their previous like Kid A and Kid A stuff. Because there's times where like you hear like you hear the synthesizers are like way more prominent, and it kind of sounds almost like a power pop band where there's tons of synthesizers and guitar in like the musical arrangement. But I think it helps becoming a little bit more produced. You can hear that there's more skill with Brian and how he plays guitar. Like Juan says, he's not a very good guitar player at first because all he plays is like power chords.
Me.
But there's a there's a part in I think it's called Summer Shanty. It's a really catchy tune.
Oh,
And
don't sing it. I'll get stuck in my
I
head.
won't. He has a guitar solo in there, and it's the first time I was like, wow, this sounds like really good. And it's really cool to see them progress as musicians in that sort of sense.
All right, we have to pick an album soon off the front bottoms to analyze it way more. I don't know if Aaron, you're gonna pick one. I still don't know what you're picking, but
speaking of albums, let's review Miranda Cosgrove's album.
Yeah.
So, there's still some things I want to talk about before that. Is that cool?
Yeah, it's fun.
All right.
No, fuck you, Pod.
I want to talk about a new game I've been playing a lot. It's FIFA 17. Huge FIFA nerd. And I want to talk about the journey. Now the journey is like this whole part where you get to play as this kid named Alex Hunter, and you get to just become like this superstar who becomes like one of the best, right? Now I played this over at Matt's house, and what he did was he failed all of the like trials, because you have to go to this trial and it's a bunch of mini games, and he failed all of them, and you have to end up in 10th place or above. He ended up in 25th, right? And they just walk up to you and they tell you, hey, you didn't make it, try again next year. But you can't try again next year, so they just make you restart it.
That's when the credits roll, you know. It's just the end of the thing. I like it because you can choose to be like the hugest shitlord who ever lived in soccer, you know, or you could be a totally nice guy, humble dude, you know, pretty balanced, or you could be a sociopath who just like blatantly ignores everybody.
Yeah, this game.
It feels like a Telltale game.
It does. It's an actual story mode. It's the thing that like it's really weird having like FIFA's main selling point is their story mode. You know, like I don't know, because NBA they sell their My Career all the time, and I think it's just a norm now that sports games should have a story mode. You know what I mean?
Yeah, My Career was awful.
And 2K16's was.
Yeah. Oh, sorry.
Aaron, I know you downloaded.
Dream one.
I know you downloaded 2K16, right?
Yeah, I played it for all of like 15 minutes.
Did you not get around to playing My Career?
That's all I played, and I was just I don't care.
What'd you?
Yeah,
it was really dumb.
it's-
Frequency vibrations, but you're fucking
But
right,
I mean, I also don't care about sports games in general. Personally, I don't really give a fuck. So
I don't know.
I like to
it
play
was
my
free.
sports
I was like,
game.
I'm gonna play it. Try it. Then I was like, I don't care.
I'm just really excited to keep playing the journey because I still haven't passed it yet. And... What up?
I like to play my sports game. I like to play my sports games like with tons of dumb stuff going on. Like in Madden, I always trade everybody to different teams to see what it'd be like.
Of course.
Like right now, I'm running a franchise where Peyton Manning is on the Patriots and Tom Brady's on the Broncos, and it's pretty strange to see like the highlights and like they're in different uniforms. It's like but it makes it more interesting and fun.
And one last thing, Power Rangers and Justice League are going to be teaming up for a mini comic series. Do any of you like either one?
I like both.
Yeah, that's exciting. I love it.
Except Martian Manhunter because he sucks.
You know,
Martian Manhunter is an alien.
You know what I hate a lot? I hate that Power Rangers are becoming like things are being taken from the past and being rebranded to fit like the new set of like millennials. Or not millennials, but like yeah, I guess I could say like
they try to appear the youth.
Cuz last year
The current youth of today.
Last year it'd be if you played Pokemon, you were a fucking nerd, right? And then this year Pokemon Go came out and like, oh, you're not playing Pokemon Go, you're a fucking loser.
Yeah.
Welcome to modern fads, man.
Yeah, they're doing this with the Power Rangers now, and that's what makes me really upset. don't get me wrong, I'm so hyped for the new Power Rangers. That's gonna be so dope, right?
Yeah.
But I'm just tired of things being rebranded for new audiences who, you know,
It's
who,
being taken away from the nerds.
yeah.
Nerd culture is becoming cool.
And also goth culture, like in middle school, if you were goth or emo, you were like, oh, stay away from that kid, right? But in today's
I don't
current
know. I think we
world,
still make fun of those. I think we still make fun of those kids now because people like ironically will say "raw XD" and stuff. Because it's starting to catch on.
I don't mean like those, but that's like an ironic thing. But like the goth style, the all black style, that used to be so criticized, and now like people like say, oh, black lipstick. Oh, I'm gonna look black today, right? That sounds so wrong. Isolated.
That's
Oh my god.
that's
But
two
yeah,
moments.
yeah.
How about those color people? I'm gonna feel so black today.
No, but I don't know. It feels weird seeing all these cultures being like rebranded into like a new, cooler, hipper thing that is gonna catch on with the other crowds.
You know what's never gonna catch on? D&D. You know what I do? D&D.
The what?
D&D, bro.
The
Yeah.
what?
D&D's been missed. Nobody cares about
D&D.
it.
No, I think it could. It has anything could be
Dude,
I
that's being made
always-
into like a that's being made into a YouTube Red TV show or whatever. YouTube Red is making a show about like these really some really like rad, I guess, YouTubers, like with really big air quotes.
Mhm.
They're gonna be playing D&D, and it's gonna be like pseudo animated.
Mhm.
Hey
Like,
Juan, you know what?
You know what's already been done fat? You know it was better?
Yeah.
You guys should go watch The Gamers, is what I'm saying. Find them and watch them. The
Link 'em in
Gamers
here.
is fucking dope.
What were we gonna
Juan,
say, man?
you know what? That reminds me of how you're saying it's kind of taking away nerd culture. I just realized I hate how much that reminds me how much I hate The Big Bang Theory because it's not. I don't know how to explain it.
Yeah,
They
it's
play
like,
caricatures of nerds.
Yeah.
Like they're
it's
not actual
glamorizing nerd
nerdy.
culture.
Oh, and it's not just that. They're not actual socially awkward people in real life,
I know.
It's scripted. It's scripted with a scripted social awkwardness. Think about like how do I explain it? Like Michael Cera. Michael Cera is a guy who I think of when I think about socially awkward
Yeah, like
things.
he's actually socially awkward.
Being around him makes me uncomfortable, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
And when you're that type of person,
because he just doesn't.
a little bit of calm, man, a little bit of calm, dude. Being that type of person in real life, gives you a lot of experiences that when you see shows like that glamorize nerd culture, it's like, no, it's not. It never was cool to be a nerd. It's not cool because then you would get made fun of or you didn't have a lot of friends, at first.
Where you hide it.
Yeah, you had to hide it, and then now it's more of a thing where like, I guess it's okay to like embrace your side of culture, right? But I don't know. There's some times where it's just
But
like
nerd culture, if we're talking about this, has been growing in popularity.
Yeah, it has.
Like with video games. Like video games used to be like, why are you playing video games? Are you a kid? Now it's like 45-year-old men. It's totally socially acceptable for them to go into a GameStop.
I think there's a difference between nerd culture and geek culture. Like, I think that'd be more of a geek culture thing. Nerd, like, it depends on the type of games you're playing. Because League of Legends, people see League of Legends and they think, oh, nerd, right?
Well, here's what I think. I think it's the difference between what type of people are also playing the game. So I think that now that technology is more accessible, we all have phones. We can all watch people play video games. We can watch people do stuff. There's so much more accessibility to technology around us. Like
And
it's
gaming
different.
on
And
mobile
like you said, the
too.
games.
Gaming on mobile.
It's like you said, the
too.
games. Mm-hmm.
Go on. Sorry.
And like you said, the game. Sorry. It's like you said, the game. It's like you said. The type of games that you play also matter too. So like I said, I'm playing Saints Row. Some kid walks in, he's like, "Yeah, cool, GTA clone or whatever." I don't care, but he thinks it's all right. But like if I was playing some like some weeby anime game that like only, yeah, if I was playing some like dating simulator, like I would be a super huge loser, because I am a super huge loser.
So before we go on to the review, what do you guys see being rebranded next to be popularized for a new set of people?
Jesus.
For mainstream?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Back to the Future.
what's gonna be the next thing. That
Back to the Future was always mainstream, man.
No, but I feel like they're gonna try to reboot it, and it's gonna be awful. Like, I feel like once that happens, they're not gonna try to reboot anything afterwards because it's gonna be the tipping point.
I think I talked to you about this on the very first episode, but there's like a list of movies and video games and shit like that should never be rebooted. And like the very top of that list is Back to the Future.
And I feel like that's gonna be like, if Back to the Future gets rebooted, that's gonna be the tipping point. Like when Hollywood's like, okay, we need to stop making reboots because people don't like them anymore. You know, like they had their fun with the Spider-Man. Like, I'm surprised the Spider-Man genre has gotten as many reboots within the time span that it has. It's like totally ridiculous.
I mean, Sony didn't even finish their reboot, so
Yeah, they didn't even finish the first
kinda...
reboot series.
So, I don't know what.
But I think
what could then.
There's some series that I didn't think RoboCop would ever be rebooted because I think RoboCop is really, really good, except for like the third film, or whatever. But still, I'm surprised. Like they'll pull something out. I didn't even think I never thought that Ghostbusters was ever going to be rebooted, and then they did that, and that was, like I said, it was not very good. I'm just scared. I'm just kind of scared. I don't want like other franchises, and I get like. They don't take away the movies from the past. Like, you can always watch Back to the Future, or I could always watch Ghostbusters, the original, and not have to worry about that. But that movie's always going to be in the lineup. Like, it's always going to be suggested when I search up Ghostbusters. And
it kind of like ruins the experience. Like, this spawned that bullshit that came out not too long ago. I just want to like make a really quick note. There's a channel called Door 3. Not sure if you ever heard of it. But this channel is dead now. It died about a year and a half ago. It's called Door 3, and it's basically like a pseudo game show channel that was on YouTube. And like you could just look at their front page and see like how downhill it went. They had a show called Debate Your Fate, where every single week two people, Sean Klitzner and Sam Shacker, I think. They would have to spin a wheel and they'd have to debate, and the audience in the comments would vote on who they think won the debate. And whoever lost the debate, they had to go through a challenge. And there were some pretty like really cool, legitimate challenges, like Jared Leto versus Heath Ledger, who's a better Joker. But like. It eventually, like, and that was what it was about, you know. That was what it was about. It was about, you know, like, just debating, and then it was more so about the debate. But like, you can see one of the most recent ones. It's their fourth most popular video. Hot host gets painful wedgie in Debate Your Fate.
Clickbait.
Like, it went downhill so quickly because it says 1 year ago Jared Leto versus Heath Ledger, and then 1 year ago hot host gets painful wedgie. Like. Within a year, that it went downhill.
The Ray Williams.
And then they had a series on here. It was like 20 episodes, and that was all they posted, and then they all got removed. But it was called Fly Versus, where it was just like these really stupid little videos about a fly and like how a fly compared to everything else. It was really dumb, and it was really hard. It was really hard to understand the point of it. There were like 20 of them, and then they all got deleted from the channel. But like this channel just. It died, and it didn't die for any good reasons. But like, I don't know that I don't know. But that's just what
recording right now,
like modernizing things. Like this was a very modernization of like older style TV shows. It's called Door 3, based off of Let's Make a Deal. You know, Doors 1 through 3.
Yeah.
So,
I mean, actually, that's a good topic. I mean, what do you guys think of Suicide Squad?
I haven't watched it.
I didn't.
I don't like. I don't know. I don't like Batman, and like, I don't know. I just don't like.
Wasn't this one not about Batman? Like, it wasn't really about Batman. It was
he showed up.
Batman universe.
Like more than people expected.
Yeah, Batman.
Well, from what I've heard, if Joker was there, Batman was there. That's it.
Yeah. You're
from
close.
like what I understand, like Jared Leto got like 10 minutes of screen time throughout the entire movie or whatever.
Yeah, after he was like.
Even though, like, the advertisements would have you think, holy shit, like, he is the main character.
And his 10 minutes of screen time was not very good, because I don't like... I knew right from the start that Jared Leto's, like, Joker was not going to be a good Joker, in the sense that how they, they characterized him and how they wrote him in. It's just kind of sad. I don't know.
Oh, hold on. Have you guys? Do you guys know the channel Film Theory?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yes.
He made the two-parter about the Jokers.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. So basically, there's a channel called The Film Theorists, and one of the shows is Film Theory, where like he just makes theories about films, and it's just comparing every single live-action Joker to like how the comics is stacking up right now.
Mhm.
It's really cool. Like they could have been playing this for years. It's so amazing.
All right. To tie this all up, back to the Power Rangers story real quickly. In the monthly miniseries, things go awry in the Power Rangers' hometown of Angel Grove when their power center is breached and the Black Ranger is flung into an alternate dimension full of, quote, citizens possessing outrageous powers and wearing strange costumes, quotes, according to a press release. It's up to the rest of the Power Rangers to travel and find the Black Ranger before Batman capture him. So that...
Wait. It describes the Justice League as wearing weird costumes,
Mm-hmm.
but
Well, dude,
not
the
the
Power
Power
Rangers-
Rangers.
The Powers have dope costumes, dude. What are
Yeah,
you talking
come on.
about?
So yeah, I guess...
I think my
I mean, like,
okay,
I'm talking
real
about,
talk
like, the
one. What's
old
your
one
favorite
where,
Power
like-
Ranger series?
I'm talking about
Oh,
like really old
okay.
stuff where like everybody wears latex and shit. Like that shit's just weird.
Let me look here, because there's a lot
I like
of...
Dino Thunder.
All right, that's because there's a lot of sections. All right, Power Rangers started originally as Saban, then Disney bought them, and like there's a difference between the Disney Power Rangers and the actual Saban, and then Saban bought the Power Rangers again, and they gave them to Nickelodeon. All right? So then there's a whole new other Nickelodeon, you know. But if
In space, samurai.
are you asking for my favorite, like
What's your favorite series
of all time?
in the Power Rangers of
Yeah.
all time?
Let's see. I gotta think about it. It's a tough
Mighty
decision.
Morphin.
The first one?
It's someone I grew up with.
I like the first one because it has that aesthetic.
I like Mighty Morphin because it had Johnny Young Bosch as the Black Ranger, and he became a successful anime voice actor.
Whichever one is the one where like the theme song is "Go Go Power Rangers."
Mighty Morphin.
Mighty Morphin.
Yeah,
I
Mighty
don't.
Morphin.
I don't like the space ones. The ones where they go to space.
You didn't like Zeo?
Did Zeo go into space?
Zeo was a.
No, I'm
Did
talking
Zeo go
about Power Rangers in space and Power Rangers Lost Galaxy.
Oh, okay, yeah. I don't know, Power Rangers in Space had like a fairly serious storyline. It's actually really strange
Mm-hmm.
for what it was.
I guess
Make
my
my monsters grow.
my favorite is Ninja Storm.
Ninja Storm. I like
Dino Thunder because Dino Thunder actually has character development.
Yeah.
At the beginning,
As-
the Red Ranger's a fucking giant douche, right? He's like, man, I don't want to be a part of you guys. You guys are a bunch of fucking losers, right?
Yeah.
And then he's like, oh, I guess I'm stuck with this power, and he like learns to accept that, you know, there's more to life than just being a soccer player and whatnot.
Yeah, and the acting isn't horrible in Dino Thunder
Yeah, it's
either.
not that bad. The
I
Dis-
was watching Samurai. It was a Power Rangers Samurai or whatever, and the acting in that is really, really, really awful. They hired some actors that are like obviously noobish actors, and there's some lines there delivered that are just super ridiculous. I have to send you a link to them because it's a
And then-
compilation of
and then-
like.
Power Rangers Wild Force as well was really awesome.
Oh, Wild Force, yeah.
And then
I like Wild Force.
I don't know. I think that's it about Power Rangers. Unless anyone else wants to say anything.
Well, I just wanted to say, because you said aesthetics, something completely different, but I've started listening to and enjoying Vaporwave, non-ironically.
Oh yeah, I feel like Vaporwave and Power Rangers
Aesthetic.
go hand in hand.
Well, because you said aesthetic, and that's what Vaporwave is all about. It's all about aesthetic.
All right. We're gonna get
With
into
the
this.
space capital
Purple.
aesthetic, but it's capitalized, but like it's spaced out.
Yes. Oh god, aesthetic. It's so beautiful.
All right, let's.
It's so
Uh,
sad.
Let's get into the album review. Miranda Cosgrove's.
Miranda
Spotify.
Kagra.
Miranda Cosgrove's.
Miranda Kagra.
What do you guys? What? All right. What do you guys think of this
It was
album?
Best album.
Really?
Literally, most influential album in my life now.
Oh my god.
Miranda Cosgrove saved my life.
I feel like
Queen
okay,
Step Over. Yeah,
She was like 17, 18 when this album was like finally done. right?
17. She was 17, yeah.
17. Okay, I mean, considering how young she is, and the industry like at what 2009 when this was released. That was,
10.
The industry was definitely in her favor.
6 years
Yeah.
ago, we were all 12, 11, around there, 13 maybe.
yeah.
I
6 years
was-
ago? 13, yeah.
So I
What
felt
the
like
I was
That was
11. I was
great.
11.
11.
this album was trying to portray how teenage life is, right?
But it
I think you're
wasn't-
looking into it a bit too deep. One.
No.
It's,
but like-
it's just a bunch of songs.
No. Shut up. No. So this is like trying to depict how teen life is. Like, this is the type of music that teens like, right? Like, this is what Miranda Cosgrove, a popular teen on iCarly, likes. You should like it too, right? And I feel like it's
Yeah.
tamed within our demographic, right? Like, this was
Mhm.
supposed to go for us, and instead we listened to, like, we like got attracted to like other pop shit like Rihanna, Beyonce, and all this other shit, and then that correlated with Drake, and that's what's like really popular now. So I felt like this is the last, like, you know how like they're like saying like millennials are like so much like sixth graders nowadays are twerking and doing shit like that.
Mhm.
This is the last song before that generation. This is the last album before that generation. You know what I mean?
It was before millennials lost their innocence.
Yes,
Uh,
yes, perfectly said. I
Yeah,
agree.
yeah.
It's not-
Like if this hadn't happened for if like the stupid millennial bullshit hadn't like millennials ruin everything bullshit hadn't happened for a few years, then like I think this album would have been like prime prime.
Mhm.
I think what you're trying to say, Juan, is that it's an album of its time.
Yes.
It's very dated.
Like
And-
it's an album that happened at the very end of its musical generation.
It's dated,
But,
but like if you look at an album like a Nirvana album, I don't think that's dated because like there's some things there that could still be applied to
Of course
current
not.
generation. You know?
There's some lyrics. There's some lyrics in Utero that I like to sing about Nirvana, where he says, "I tried hard to have a father, but instead I had a dad." And that lyric is really relatable to like a lot of people.
Mhm.
And something about like you have songs that have really good lyricism, they're going to be timeless because they're going to be always they're always something that you can relate to at any point in time, no matter what age you are or what time that it's
Yeah.
you're listening to it.
I mean that's why
Um,
people still love Elvis.
Yeah.
I fucking love Elvis.
Like he was actually a really good lyricist.
I went to
Even,
Elvis's
even if
house.
like by nowadays like
Really?
really.
Yeah,
Oh yeah,
but-
you went to Nashville.
When I went to Tennessee, I made sure I went to Elvis's house. He was pretty dope, dude. But go on,
Fucking in Memphis, they still talk about how they fucking see Elvis as ghosts.
dude.
He also
they-
knows how to make a really good sandwich.
Oh, dude,
That peanut butter.
Elvis ate so much, dude. Like, he had a heart attack. That's how he died. But if you take a look at his diet, he fucking ate like 3 hamburgers a day. Like, that's his full diet. And they were all like packed with cholesterol and shit. No wonder he fucking
Dude,
died.
Dude, I don't blame Elvis though. Like that sounds
He
delicious.
died as he lived. Shitting
Yeah.
on the toilet.
Yeah,
He died at
Shitting
42.
on the toilet.
Died at
Shitting
42.
on the toilet.
it's a good way to go out though.
So,
Like, could you imagine like dying an In-N-Out burger? That'd be the best.
Oh my god.
Just kick the bucket when you're eating like a double bacon.
So, back to Miranda Cosgrove. What'd you guys like about this album? What'd you hate about it?
It starts so fucking catchy. The very first thing you hear.
I know.
Sparks fly.
And then, like-
yes.
And then at the very end, you get to end the album with the theme song from iCarly. Holy fuck! And that's a super good song. Like,
Yeah, and you listen to me and Drake, specific Drake. Me and Jeff listened to
Me
all
and
of-
Drake and Josh, we were chilling.
solid Snake and Josh. Yes. Me and Jeff listened to the Japanese deluxe edition, which has like 15 song track list, and it has songs from her second album mixed in there, so it's like a really complete, really nice one. My favorite song on there is called "Disgusting," and then my other favorite song, like after that, I think it was called "High Maintenance." That's a really fun one because it has Rivers Cuomo, Weezer as a feature on it.
What?
because, okay, like one thing I found really interesting about the album is that like it was multiple different types. It was like it was spread across the different sections of like late 2000s pop. You
Mhm.
know? Like It was a different like there were different varieties of pop throughout the entire album.
Like, Aaron, how much do you know about Weezer or Rivers Cuomo?
Not a whole lot, but
Do you know how their albums went like for a while? Like, you know about Ratitude, where they had Lil Wayne on the album?
no, dude. What
Okay.
the fuck?
Okay, I'll tell you. There's. Let me give you a history lesson.
All
'cause
I know is
I'm-
that I need to listen to fucking Lil Wayne and Rivers.
All right,
Christ.
I'll tell you about. There's a point where once, like, I think it's after their second album failed, and it's their second album. Weezer's second album is their best album because it's where Rivers puts all his whole heart and soul into the album. It's such a good. It basically creates the emo type of songwriting that we hear today, where we can be emotionally confessional about that type of thing. Because he wrote this album, he wrote his second album in a time where Korn and the Deftones were super big, and it was cool to be edgy. But there's times like I think it's like after that their second album fails. Rivers decides he wants to write more pop music because that's what's got him his big chance of success in the first place, right? So he fails and fails and fails and fails again until like 2009 is when it all culminates in this really awful album called Ratitude, and that has the most dated type of songwriting style I've ever heard. It sounds like it came out in 2009 because it has Lil Wayne on one of the albums, and it has just this really bad rap production on it. It's really funny. It's really funny. It's legitimately funny. At the time, that was when Rivers was like, I want to write the perfect pop song. So he collaborated with a bunch of people. One of those people is Miranda Cosgrove on her Sparks Fly album. And other people include Steve Aoki and Steve Aoki, and I believe it was Chamillionaire. He also wrote I Got the Magic in Me, if you guys remember that
With
song.
B.O.B.
B.O.B., yeah.
I feel like there's a lot of like these stars that we were exposed to, right? I'll name some right now. Jeanette McCurdy, Victoria Justice, Vanessa Hudgens, Demi Lovato, Ashley Tisdale, Hannah Montana, Mitchell Musso, Emma Roberts, Big Time Rush. Like all these like
Okay, I
all
real
these
talk. I was super into
people-
Big Time Rush.
all these people like started as a TV star and they wanted to start a career, right?
Mhm.
Debbie Ryan, the Cheetah Girls, Bridget Mendler, Selena Gomez, and I feel like only 5% of these people actually like blew up. Like Demi Lovato, fucking everyone loves her, right?
Yeah, she's super hot.
Selena Gomez as well. Like, I feel like Miranda Cosgrove like was doomed to not, you know, she was like doomed to not succeed based on her like other competitors, if you know what I mean.
Yeah, I feel
I
because
don't
she's.
think it was because I don't think it was because of competition. I just don't think that she could have blown up as a music star because everybody would think of her as, oh my god, that's Megan from Drake and Josh.
Yeah, I think she has a really good acting career ahead of her right now. She's
Yeah,
actually getting
yeah,
tons of
she's-
casting moments and stuff.
Yeah, like acting career. I think she could be a really great actress right now. But like, I don't know if she would ever be able to blow up really well in the music industry. Partially because the music she would do would be considered outdated by now.
She has
I want to see what she's
she has a
on.
She has a problem. I call it the Selena Gomez problem. I'm surprised Selena Gomez is even popular now because Selena Gomez looks like she's constantly 14 years old, and that creeps me out tremendously.
What?
Yeah, I
I listen to
disagree.
hands myself.
Search up her face. Search up pictures of Selena Gomez right now. Look at their face.
I
And
have done that plenty of times.
okay.
What for, Aaron? What for?
Studying. No.
Listen to her music, of course. She has a song with A$AP Rocky. I think
Okay.
she's fine.
Oh yeah, yeah, I know what you mean.
She has a
she
weird
always looks
baby
very
face.
young. She looks very young.
Yeah. And I feel like Miranda Cosgrove is the opposite, where she looks like she's constantly 20, and it's a bit strange because the music that she makes sounds like she's 13 in this album. She's like 17.
Yeah. You know,
That's what I'm trying to get at.
you know what's really annoying? How come all these people, like all the young teens from the actual from the actual TV shows got a break, but Spencer didn't?
Yeah, that always bugged me. Spencer's really cool.
Like, why
He's
couldn't we have
him
a
as a-
mini series with Spencer, also known as Jerry Trainer?
Jerry Trainer. He was in Drake and Josh too. Like he was the best character in Drake and Josh.
Mhm.
Okay,
The guy, like,
you know what I think what he reminds me of?
What?
Have any of you ever seen the TV show Night Court?
yes.
No.
Bull.
Yeah.
He reminds me of
That's
Bull in
that's
Drake and
super.
Josh.
That's really spot on.
He reminds me of like an angry bull. It's so good though. Like
His
I love
mannerisms are very strange, but yeah, I definitely see where you're coming from there.
What else you guys want to say about this podcast? Anything you wanna, or not podcast? Sparks Fly.
It's just mindless pop.
It's very
a
catchy.
couple of the songs were like really good, like they popped out, but then like there was a lot of like flatlining in the album.
Mhm.
There's a lot of flatlining.
It's 'cause
I think Shakespeare was a bit of a flatline,
Yeah.
but then like there were a bunch of like other really nice songs in the album. So
Yeah, my favorite being High Maintenance because that was Cuomo in it. But there's some time because they try to write all the songs like they're hits, and when you do that, they all start to plateau a bit, and it just becomes like an endless barrage of like here's a pop song, here's a pop song. 'Cause each have their hooks and stuff like that, but some of them are like way less.
like if every single song in your album can be a single, then it's not a good album.
I
It's
wouldn't
not
say
a great
that.
album. It's not a great album if every single song is written to be a single.
It depends. It
Here.
depends
Yeah.
on how you write it and the style as well. 'Cause
Yeah, like
Elvis
when we listen
back-
to
Oh wait, go ahead.
when we listen to Rooney, you remember how almost all the songs are very, very good. Like they're good enough to be singles on their own right.
Mhm.
But
Yeah.
there's time, but the only one of those songs gets a single, and you can tell which one's which because it's the most catchy. But like it's in a sea of other slightly more accessible songs too, and so it makes it really good.
I agree that this one like kind of didn't, because she was trying to write it out like every single, and it doesn't work in like the pop realm, you know. It works in the realm that Rooney is in, and Elvis did this to some extent where he'd write an album, but it'd really just be all singles, right? And
Yeah, you never think of Elvis you never think of Elvis albums. You think of Elvis songs.
And
yeah.
that's based on the time period that he was in. So there's a mix where Miranda Cosgrove was in the wrong time period, right? And she was in the wrong realm to try to make each song sound like a single. And that's where I think the album kind of tanks. Other than that, it's way better than a lot of other pop albums. Like, I'd rather listen to Miranda Cosgrove than Kesha.
Yeah, it's funny that you say that because Kesha wrote one of the songs on this album.
Really?
Wait, really?
Yeah.
Forgot
She,
about
had,
that.
she has a
Shit,
bunch
dude.
of ghostwriting album. She has a bunch of ghostwriters on this album, and ghostwriters where it's pretty self-explanatory, but I'll give you the details. It's basically we have someone else write most of the song for you, and you can come up with the idea. So she kind of co-writes these most of the songs on these albums.
Well, yeah,
I think
but
Oh,
by
yeah,
that I
remember
meant
There's
like writing in pop
'Cause
songs aren't good. Like, I don't
Yeah.
actively look for the writing. I look for the like notes and like the pitches and all this other musicality stuff that
Yeah.
pop like needs. Because if your pop song doesn't have a good groove or a good chorus, then it's not gonna succeed well with the general masses. Which is why I'd rather
I was gonna tell you,
listen
it's
to
like,
Miranda Cosgrove than her. What were you gonna say?
Yeah, there's she writes the song "Disgusting," which is actually I think it's actually my favorite song on the album. But there's some times in there where it definitely gets, like you're saying, it gets a bit flatliney, and because I don't know, I think "Kissing You" is the first song that you hear on, like Aaron says, really catchy. That song is the only one that she actually wrote, I think, most of herself, but it kind of shows throughout the other ones because some of them have different writing styles if you listen really closely. Like they don't sound like they're written by the same person.
Makes sense. I wrote when we first started listening to this like 3 years ago. I made some really, really, really tiny bits of notes. All I wrote was "Hate Bam" right out the gate. "There Will Be Tears" sounds like "Firework" by Katy Perry at the start.
Yeah,
That's all I've written. Those were as far as my thoughts went with this.
it's a good one.
but is
Hmm.
I don't hate it. But
Yeah,
if
I don't
turned it
hate it
on, I
either.
was just kind of skating around or doing something, and I was like, cool.
Yeah.
You wouldn't
It's
like skip
music.
it. Hmm. All right, I think that's it for the review.
Would you guys rate it?
Out of 5, right?
Out of 5, yeah, 5 stars. If you were to give it
2.5, 2.9.
Exactly 2.5, just right in the middle. It's just
it's not
music.
bad, but it's not very good.
Nope.
If we were in 2009,
If we're in 2009,
but today,
yeah, today.
yeah, if we were in 2009, 3, but today, like 2.
If we were back then, I'd probably say because I was edgy, like
Who wasn't edgy
pop
back in
music.
2009?
Whoa.
See, Aaron, now we need to write it like this is where we work on our vaporwave remix of this album.
Oh
It
my
becomes-
god. But that would make sense because you're still kind of saying fuck capitalism. Okay, I
It's
get it.
very electric. There's lots of electric like synthesizers and stuff in the album.
All right, I mean,
We just got pitch shift Miranda.
is that
Yeah.
is that wrapping up a review? Anything else you guys want to say?
Selena Gomez is better.
Yeah,
Uh,
yeah, that's pretty much it. That's it for the Avant Garde Clue podcast. We're gonna
I mean,
now leave it up.
I
to,
gotta say what y'all are listening to.
exactly. That's what I was gonna segue right into. What are we
Okay, I thought you
listening to?
I mean, okay, so I went back and forth a lot. I was like thinking maybe I should do Offspring because that's how I first started my own music. Maybe I should do some hip hop. Maybe I should do some really weird underground stuff that literally no one knows because I'm a hipster. I decided that I'm gonna be super, super, super cliche, super predictable, and I'm gonna say "Talon of the Hawk" by
Yes.
I'm down for this.
because it's my favorite album ever. Like I said, I have the front bottom tattoo on me. I'm probably gonna get the knife tattooed on my body at some point. It is my favorite album,
I have a follow-up.
and yeah, it's gonna be.
I have a follow-up to that because I'm Needy When I'm Needy also came out. Can we do a sub review of that?
Oh yeah,
It's
100%.
just
I already listened
two
to it.
extra songs. Does that seem dope with you guys?
yeah, that's fine.
All right, cool. So we got a sub review for that. That's pretty much it. We'll find a date where we're all not busy, and we'll figure it out. Anyways, yeah, it's pretty much it. Thanks for tuning in. One viewer, it's probably Jeff, right?
Jeff's mom.
Oh no, I clicked off.
Oh, okay, we had one viewer. Okay,
Dude.
whoever that was, it was probably me.
Oh,
Whatever.
no. I actually want to say that. Shout out to Cynthia from Chicago. She's my friend who I showed this, and she is Chips and Cookies or whatever who commented. She actually listened.
Oh,
She
okay.
listens to us ramble, and she's cool.
Oh my-
So she's gonna check
I'm
this
not
out and share it with
God.
friends.
All right, that's
I'm not goddamn a fun girl.
dope. We're gonna close it out here. Thanks for listening. Peace.
Bye.
Bye.